Brandon, obviously on Arsenal today, we're going to go to Super Chats in a minute and get some views through there. But what were your thoughts? Why did you struggle today to break Man United down, to create those chances to win the game, having had so much of the ball?
Well, in simple terms, this has been Arsenal's problem for the last 2 years, 3 years. You come up against a team that decides to put 10 men in front of the ball effectively, and defend deep. And we always struggle. It doesn't matter who the opposition is. It doesn't matter if it's Manchester United, if it's Southampton or Everton. It makes no difference. We always seem to struggle against that. And to be honest with you, I am sick and tired of seeing and witnessing the same thing. Came on, obviously, after the PSV game during the week, and I had a lot of praise for the manager and the players, because although it was the same lineup, we see a different way of playing football. Now, obviously, everybody will reiterate that PSV played a different way to what Manchester United did today, and they opened up a lot more, which made it easier for us effectively. But what I was impressed with about Arsenal during the week was that we moved the ball quickly, that we had a lot of players trying to crash the box. We was getting into positions where, we haven't got a natural striker in front of goal. So we was getting more midfielders into better positions, which created more chances for us. And everything that we did during the week has all of a sudden disappeared again in today's game. And we've gone back to reverting to that slow, lethargic build-up, that, just boring football. And unfortunately, when you have to break a low block down, you have to move the ball quickly. So, after watching the first half, which was like watching paint dry, by the way, I knew that we weren't winning the game today because we just simply wasn't moving the ball quick enough. The players didn't look on it. If I'm being honest, I would actually say, apart from David Raya, Declan Rice and Gabriel, because them three are the only three that did their jobs effectively today, the rest of them really and truly, if we're being harsh with it, should give up their wages for the training sessions that they did in the lead up to this game and for today's game, because they were all absolutely diabolical. You mentioned it just a minute ago about Odegaard. I've been screaming this out for ages. Odegaard is not a 10. I keep telling people this. But he creates the most big chances. I don't care. It's clear to see, right, in the last 2 to 3 years, if Arsenal are consistently struggling to break down low block teams, regardless of, Gal said about us having Marino and Trossard and a makeshift front three, we've struggled against low block teams when we've had our actual players, our actual front line available. Then you have to start looking into the midfield and working out, why is that? Why is it that only in the big moments, as Mo said, Saka is the one that we rely on? It's hardly ever Odegaard coming up with the goods. Yes, he had that good season 2 years ago where he came up with 15 goals, but Arsenal were an unknown entity then. We kind of came out of the blocks in the season. We played a really strong attacking football that teams have now adapted to. So we've got to adapt to it. And I don't think it's a case of Arsenal go out and buy a striker in the summer. We could have put Isaac in that team today and we still would not have won that game because we did not create enough chances. And this is, by the way, against the 14th place Manchester United team, who have been poor all season. They were very poor in the first half.
Sorry, I've got to correct you. We were 15th when the game kicked off, mate.
15th, there you go. But, in the first half in particular, I thought you was really good in the second half. And I don't want to take anything away from you guys because I thought you was really good. But in that first half, the free kick was your first shot on target. So you effectively didn't have anything to offer in terms of an attack. And it was just us with the ball consistently throughout that first half, creating absolutely nothing. And that's the disappointment. We really and truly, we should have had that game won by half time because of what Man United were offering wasn't anything threatening to us in terms of us having to do a load of defending. Now, we didn't do it. We didn't get it done because our creation was poor once again. And our moving the ball slowly was poor again. And then you come out in the second half, and obviously, you adapted your game plan. And really and truly, you should have won the game. David Raya, I put him at fault for the free kick because he shouldn't have been as far over in his goal and allowed Bruno all that space to aim at from the free kick anyway. But he made up for it because he effectively saved us a point today. Gabriel saved us a point today. Declan Rice did his job because he saved us when Hoyland was going through, and he also scored the goal. The rest of them are absolutely atrocious, and it's like they're already on the beach. Now, I know Liverpool winning this league. We all know Liverpool winning this league, right? And it's not so much the result today, but to me, it looks like some of them players have just given up now and gone, do you know what? We're not winning this league. And I don't think that as professional footballers that get paid hundreds of thousands of pounds per week, you should have that attitude. And today, that kind of showed to me that they've already given up on this league and all their eggs are being thrown into that Champions League basket. But, I expect better, Tel. And really, like you said, we have got a big summer this summer. If Arsenal don't do the business, trust me, players like Saliba, players like Saka, players like, whoever you want to say is one of our better players, will look to leave this football club. Fabregas did it. Henry did it. Yeah. Adebayor did it. Whoever you want to name, all these players left our football club because they wanted to go on and win better things, and they did. And
sounds exactly like last season,
if we
bro.
don't get our
Sounds
asses in
exactly
gear.
like last season.
Yo,
Sounds exactly like last season, bro. Like after the last game, bro. Brandon sounds exactly like last season. We have a big summer ahead of us. Saliba will leave. Saka will leave. It sounds exactly like last season. I know that we have been saying this for a while, but I thought Arsenal should have played better today. I agree with you on everything, but come on, there has to be something dramatically changing. And I'm not talking about the manager, the way he approaches games and everything. And I know that the Man United fans, I know that Sunshine wants to talk about Man United, but Arsenal are a massive topic because 3 years in a row you come second, and now we're talking about the same exact way of playing every game against the low block. What do Arsenal fans expect next season? Teams to open up against them and be PSV? No, it's not. Every single team will park the bus. Bro, Pep Guardiola will defend against you next season, knowing that Mikel Arteta doesn't change. You will break them down.
But this is why, Mo, the summer is so important, because as I just pointed out, and you guys have all pointed out, Odegaard's not a 10. Put Odegaard in the 8, the deeper role. Put Rice in his natural 6 role, and go and buy a number 10 that can score goals and create assists, because that is what we're missing. As you said already, unless it's Saka coming up with the goods, who else is doing it in this Arsenal team? It's not just a case of go out. We could spend £150 million on Isaac. It's not going to solve all our problems. I'm telling every Arsenal fan that now.
Yeah. No, listen, I understand your frustration, mate, and where it's coming from, because I think that you do have a team that's this close, and at some point, if you don't get over the line, you will. It might be this summer, it might be next year, but at some point, some of these players, maybe not Saka because he's an Arsenal fan and come through the academy, but Saliba isn't going to have that same affinity, and none of the players at our clubs are not from the academy typically have that same affinity and loyalty to football clubs. And that's why, listen, when you say the thing's got to change, Mo, maybe the appointment of Berta is part of that change. Someone that comes, again, and what's really interesting about that appointment is I was watching content from a number of different Arsenal fans about it, just, trying to, even the guys that are vehement Arteta outers seem really excited about this. Almost along the, if they give him the right control and power, he might be the person to say to the manager, you're not playing the right way. We've got better players and how you're operating. Maybe you could lose your job. And that's what Arsenal also need. They need the sporting director to be more powerful than the manager, like every other successful team in Europe. Like the sporting director is more powerful.
That is the key. It's a great appointment. When you look at the sporting directors that we was linked to, we had a short list of 5, and he's definitely the best option out of the 5, 100%. But he's only good if you give him the tools to do his job and, the power to be able to do his job. If, in a year's time, we're seeing Mikel Arteta having his way with certain signings like he did with Havertz again, then that will tell us everything that we need to know about how much power Arteta has at this football club as well.
Yeah, I hear you on that, mate. I'm going to jump to these super chats, and I want to hear from Sunshine. He's been very, very, very quiet and waiting patiently. Red here says, joined late. I'm just wondering if Arsenal support is still looking to have their season right up there with, I got Shiga. I don't know what that is. And the JFK conspiracies after that. I am seeing a few tweets about the wall being 11.2 yards away. But in fairness, Christian Eriksen has just done an interview, right? And they've asked him this question. I was reading it while you guys were talking. They said, what do you make of Bruno Fernandes's free kick? And he sarcastically said, yeah, it was all right, but it did help him that the wall was 15 meters away.
You know what's mad, yeah? When we had that thing against, was it Everton? Where our wall was apparently like further back than it should have been, and they had a goal go in or something. No one complained about. No one.
Well, it's one of those things. I did say this. Look, it until Gary Neville said it was far away, I don't think any single football fan in the world would have gone, there was a problem there. It's only because they kept on talking about it and they've showed us that distance. For me, Sky won't do this, but start doing that little distance thing for all free kicks. And I bet over the course of a season, you'll see some that are like 9 yards, right up to 12 yards away. You'll get that type of difference.
Funniest thing is it's supposed to be 10 yards away. So effectively, we was 1 yard, 1.2 further away than what we should have been. And people want to use that as an excuse.
And Martin Taylor was against Arsenal anyway. You know that from the beginning of the season. It's actually very astonishing how Martin Taylor has been at the PGMOL. I just wanted Arsenal to lose the league in the beginning of the season. It's just astonishing, bro.
But even
you know that, Sunshine.
Even when that's said, right, the frustrating bit for me is that free kick was given to us on about the 46th minute. It was 4 minutes of time added on. So a minute's gone. It took a minute to take the free kick because it took the referee ages. We then celebrated for a minute. So you got like 2 more minutes on, right? Because the game hasn't been played for 2 minutes. So you should be going to about 51. Referee blew for half time at like 40 seconds when we were on a counter attack. That done my head in. Just again, I'm not saying
Xerxes wanted to fight him. Xerxes wanted to fight him, and Bruno
was right. Even if you take the minute to take the free kick and go, no, that's gone, you don't get that back. There was about a minute of celebrating. So, and for me, I just looked at it and thought, you can't be doing that when we're on the break. Because I guarantee if Arsenal crossed that ball back into the box, they wouldn't have been blowing the whistle. He'd have let that go through. This here says, closer to the end of the process, probably your bias speaking, lol. You would love that, wouldn't you? I'm not sure how you look at this Arsenal team and come to that conclusion. I disagree with that.
Now, all I'm saying, I'm not saying that I'm 100% right, and you are well within your right to disagree. All I'm saying is, let's say Madrid really need a centre back. Saliba's gone, right? Now you need a new centre back. Let's say that centre back doesn't work. Now you're going into next season. Arteta has to win something, or it's been 7 years or whatever it is without a trophy, without anything meaningful. Let's say now the pressure gets to Arteta and he decides, you know what, I'm out at the end of the season. So you got Saliba and your manager gone. Really quickly, it can start to look like, actually, we have to rebuild this team in the image of a new manager or whatever the case is. I'm saying that it could happen very quickly. And I feel like they're closer to that than they are to winning the league just from this season. That's all I'm saying.
This year says a manager with no trophies plays horrible football, has a cult following, fans saying Henry is jealous of him too.
Oh, yo, that
Henry.
Discourse about Henry, what he said was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. I feel for Arsenal legends. They turned on Henry, they turned on Aim right. It's mad.
Imagine a player that's won absolutely everything there is to win in football, talking about, and he was talking facts as well, by the way, right? But he's supposed to be jealous of Super Duper Mick. Do me a favor.
Yeah,
because Mikel Arteta makes 15 million a year. He's definitely jealous of him.
Do you know what's really mad though for me? When I saw Arsenal fans tweeting about it, I don't know why. My gut instinct was I ain't even clicking on to listen to what he said because I something about it. I just felt like Granddad from The Simpsons when he walks into the strip bar and he sees Bart there and he just puts the hat in and puts his hat on. That was me when I saw the tweets. I don't even know what Henri said, to be fair. Maybe I'll give it a
What he
listen.
said, Tell. Go and listen to what he said. He didn't say anything bad at all. If
I haven't
anything,
even
you'll
listened to
probably
it.
agree with it.
I'll go and have a little listen. If it was Mo instead of Saka injured, who wins the Premier League? Well, if Mo Salah was out injured in the period that Saka has been, I think the title race is on still, and the points difference is a lot closer.
Yeah,
That's
me
what
too.
I think. That's what. Yeah.
But if we went all injuries the same, except we swapped Saka's and Mo Salah's, I still think Liverpool are edging it just a little bit.
Yeah, I think that Liverpool probably still top by 2 to 3 points, but I think that if you turn that round, but that's the way it happens at the end of the day. Do you know? Last night I watched two UFC fighters fight, and a guy got knocked out with spinning back kick. And do you know what? If their spinning back kick was done by the other guy and kicked him in the head, he might have won. But yeah, do you know what I mean? It's you know what I mean. If when Mike Tyson lands it on the jaw, if the other boxer was quick enough and timed it right on the jaw, he might have won. It's part of sport.